Hi, this is Kat, the creator of Unearthed, and I'm going to teach you how to play the second edition. The second edition of Unearthed plays very similarly to the first edition, but I've made some changes in order to streamline the game so it can fit in a smaller box, which has allowed me to upgrade the quality of the components. This game is for 2 to 4 players and usually takes between 30 and 45 minutes to play. I've set this example game up for 2 players. I've done that by choosing 2 of the player boards, blue and green in this case, giving each player a quick reference card, shuffling the dig site deck and putting it in an accessible place on the table, also putting the back of the rulebook in an easily accessible place on the table so that we know what fossils make what dinosaurs, and finally combining the 2 assembled creatures boards together to create the assembled creatures board as a whole. I've also taken this little white ring and put it around 0 because 0 creatures have been assembled so far. Each player starts out with 2,000 income per turn, 0 cash, and 0 fame. So you basically just take your plastic rings and put them at the absolute lowest spot that they can go on each player board. Each player also starts with their very first dig team, and you need to make sure that the token is flipped tools side down to indicate that the tools have not been upgraded. On a player's turn, they're always going to take these steps in order. First, the player increases their cash availability by their income per turn. On the first turn, that means that the green player has 2,000 income per turn and so would get 2,000 cash during this step. Step 2 is to buy. Each player can buy up to 3 items, and they can buy multiples of the same item. You can buy fossils to create dinosaurs with, dig teams, or upgraded chisels. The prices of fossils are printed in the rulebook. Fossils bought this way must be used on the same turn that they're purchased. The cost to upgrade a current dig team or to buy a new dig team is indicated on your player board. If a dig team's tools have been upgraded, you can indicate that by flipping over the token. The third step is to manage your dig teams. During this step, each of your dig teams gets its own turn. Your dig teams can choose to do one of the following options: either dig for new fossils or assemble a creature. To dig for a new fossil, the player flips over the top card of the dig site deck. If it's a card with a light background like this, it just gets added to their hand. However, most of the cards in the dig site deck are fossils like these. Each fossil has a break value. In order to keep the fossil card, the player needs to roll higher than this break value using the die. In this case, the player rolled a 3, which is higher than 1, so the player gets to keep the card. But it doesn't go straight to their hand. When a fossil has been successfully unearthed, it goes to that dig team's cleaning zone and can't actually be used to assemble a creature until the following turn. When a dig team has upgraded chisels, as indicated by the token, then the break value of all fossils they uncover is reduced by 2, which makes it much easier to excavate fragile fossils like the large bones and the skulls. In this case, with upgraded tools, the break value goes from 3 to 1. Instead of using their dig team to dig for new fossils, a player can choose to have one of their dig teams assemble their currently owned fossils into one of the prehistoric creatures. In order to do this, you'll have to take a look at your quick reference card or the back of the rulebook to see what components make what dinosaurs. Whenever you have all the necessary components to make one of these creatures, including fossils that you may have bought on this turn, then you can use your dig team to assemble the creature. Once a creature's been assembled, you're going to place one of your tokens on that spot on the completed creatures board. So let's say that the blue player has in their hand all the pieces that they need to make a protoceratops: an herbivore skull, 2 fossil fragments to make a small body, small limbs, and a small tail. The blue player is going to discard all of these cards and then put their token on the protoceratops. Since the blue player is the first player to put a token on the Protoceratops space, that player gets 2 additional fame, which means blue is going to move their fame total up by 5 points. The game ends when a certain number of tokens have been placed on this completed creatures board. At that point, everybody, including the person who put the last token, gets 1 additional turn. The number of tokens that need to be placed on the board depend on the number of players. It's 12 tokens for a 2-player game, 15 for a 3-player game, and 18 for a 4-player game. At the end of that final turn, whoever has the most fame wins the game. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy playing Unearthed.